Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today, and today we're actually diving into the detailed notes from the latest patch for Pokemon Unite. Yesterday we made a video covering all of the changes that are going to be taking place that are actually live now, but now through research from Cerebi and other sources like Reddit, we actually have the exact damage changes, buffs, debuffs, and much more for Pokemon Unite. And I know a lot of you guys were asking for this, so I thought it'd make sense to make another video to break down all those specifics. If you guys are enjoying all of our Pokemon Unite coverage, be sure to hit that like button down below, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as I post Pokemon videos every single day and you don't want to miss out on our epic Unite content. Further, I stream Pokemon Unite every day for 7 or 8 hours a day on twitch.tv/aDrive, normally from about 10 a.m. Eastern Time to about 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So come swing by at twitch.tv/aDrive. Without further ado, let's jump into these patch notes and let's break down exactly what changed, because some of these changes are absolutely crazy and are going to shake up the metagame in Pokemon Unite for good. So before I actually give you guys all the details of the patch notes breakdown, I do want to say that I recorded this entire video and then I stumbled across a really cool bit of footage that compares the before and after of these clips and how these Pokemon function in Unite. So we're gonna overlay those over me discussing these patches, and I just want to give a big shout out to HibikiVGC. The Twitter account for Hibiki is on the screen here. I asked for permission, he said I could use the content, so be sure to show some love, tweet at him, check out the original video in the description below, and a big shout outs to the homie for letting me use this footage to make this video even better and spread some love around the community. So go check him out, go follow him on Twitter, and enjoy the video. Now, the first thing I want to mention before I jump into the patch notes is that Absol's first costume, or Hollowware, is officially live right now. You can see him right here. I made some jokes about him in my tier list video for costumes, but he does look pretty dapper. So if you want to spend some money or your tickets on Absol looking fancy, there you go. And of course, Absol did get quite a few buffs in this patch, so should be pretty interesting. All right, so let's take a look at Charizard here. So Charizard has his flamethrower attack, and the cooldown was decreased from 7 seconds to 5.5 seconds. And then further, the damage was increased from 938 plus 230 of burn to 938 plus 460 of burn. Therefore, it's roughly a 19.7% increase in damage from flamethrower, and obviously you have that lower cooldown. I'm gonna kind of paraphrase some of this stuff, but we'll also throw the actual numbers on the screen for you guys so you guys can see them. And then when flamethrower gets boosted after you hit the level for the boost, it actually has roughly another 12.7% increase in damage. So ultimately, flamethrower is much stronger, is really what we're getting at here. About a 15-20% buff on flamethrower. The cooldown is reduced, which is going to drastically increase how much it's spammable. Fire Blast has its effects strengthened, doesn't seem to be on the damage. The cooldown is decreased from 11 seconds to 8 seconds. So now you can spam Fire Blast much more frequently, which is really cool. And you can see that it's got, the damage is not changed, but ultimately the amount of kind of effects of Fire Blast has been strengthened. And then Fire Blast Plus roughly has a 10% increase in damage, which is unchanged. The damage is not changed, as we mentioned, for Fire Blast. Fire Punch says the effect strengthened does not seem to be damaged. From the recording I have, it didn't seem to change the knockback, so maybe it's the slow and Fire Punch Plus. The damage is not changed, so you're still getting the same thing there. So ultimately, you're looking at Charizard's Flamethrower and Fire Blast cooldown change, and of course the damage increased for both of them in terms of either whether it's the secondary effects or the Flamethrower itself. Now, Talonflame here has some incredible buffs. Acrobatics damage is increased significantly. At level 1, it is a 66.8% increase in damage. Aerial Ace has a 33.8% increase in damage. So the amount of damage that Acrobatics and Aerial Ace are doing are so much higher. Aerial Ace Plus has an increase in damage, which about a 21% increase in damage. And then of course Fly also has an increase in damage, going about a 27% increase in damage. So again, Talonflame gets a massive buff across the board. All of its moves, Acrobatics, Aerial Ace, Fly, dealing significant more damage. Looking at Venusaur. Venusaur has about a 70% special defense drop when afflicted by poison. Snorlax will take more damage than a not afflicted Pikachu. This appears to be unchanged. Damage increased from 479 plus 520 poison to 759 plus 770 poison. So not only do they increase the base damage, but they increase the poison damage as well, which is a 53.1% increase. Petal Dance, it seems to not really have, they're not really sure what the upgrade did. Solar Beam's cooldown went from 11 to 10 seconds. And one of the craziest things is at level 15, Solar Beam's cooldown is down to 5.35 seconds. So when you hit that max buff for Solar Beam, it legitimately goes down to 5 seconds. And you can spam Solar Beam like never before. Its Unite move, which is one of the patches I was most looking forward to, the damage is increased about a 31%, 32% increase on its Unite move. So that's a significant amount of damage, guys. I mean, this is going to be some big stuff. Moving on to Absol here. Absol's damage on Night Slash and Sucker Punch are both increased. You're looking at some serious increases for Night Slash, 77.1 and 102% increase in damage, or a 91.5% increase in damage for the full combo. So Night Slash is significantly buffed just in time for its Hollow Wear. I wonder if that's timed perfectly there. And Sucker Punch has about a 41% increase in damage. One of the Pokemon that I was most looking forward to seeing this buff, they've really changed this a lot, Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is wild right now. So it's got an average of about a 9% increase in damage on its Double Slap, and then it's got about a 57% average increase in its damage on its Double Slap Plus. But now, the thing about its bulk, Wigglytuff's bulk is now actually wild. So previously, his HP was 8,002, his defense was 200, and his special defense was 149. Now his HP is 9,452, so about a 1,500 increase, and its defense is more than double, 539, and its special defense is almost triple at 482. So they legitimately took Wigglytuff and said, listen, we're going to give you a ton more HP, and we're going to give you a crazy amount of defense and special defense to allow you to take on those hits much, much better. They fixed a few bugs on Dazzling Gleam and things like that, so that's all sorted there. But Wigglytuff, I feel like, is one of the Pokemon to watch out for now, because Sing is so incredibly good, and I feel like with Sing, you're going to be able to put things to sleep. You're going to be able to tank hits better when you're kind of kiting around and trying to put things to sleep. Really excited to see what Wigglytuff is going to do with that now. Moving to Ldos here. Ldos is one of those Pokemon, had its Cotton Guard cooldown increased from 7 to 9 seconds. Its healing got decreased about 40%. Cotton Spore was slightly changed. It was decreased, so now you actually have a faster cooldown on Cotton Spore, which is really, really good. And it's we've got, let's see here, Cotton Cloud Crash. The healing was decreased about 20%, so that's something to make note of there. And then it's the defense, special defense increase has also been done on Cotton Spore as well. So now it's actually increasing by 80 and 59 instead of 60 and 44. So some small changes there to Ldos, but they changed the cooldown on Cotton Guard, made it worse. They made Cotton Spore better to try to balance out what Ldos can do. So we'll have to see what's going on. And this person actually made notes that they think that they stealth buffed the passive because it looks like it's healing twice as much. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. Cinderace had its base attack drop from 150 to 135 at level 1, and it's about a 10% decrease in its auto attack damage in terms of how it kind of functions. Its Blaze Kick was decreased, let's see here, about 17% decrease in Blaze Kick. Obviously, some of these calculations are a little bit more complicated because you're looking at critical hits plus burn damage, all this other stuff. So we'll summarize it by saying it's about a 17% decrease. And Pyro Ball was increased in damage, about a 4% increase in damage in terms of how Pyro Ball looks. Now on to Gengar, baby. Gengar's Shadow Ball has a 40% buff. Shadow Ball, I feel like Gengar is still going to be busted with Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball Plus is about a 14% increase, but its base Shadow Ball has a massive increase. Hex, let's see what Hex has here going on. Hex has about a 13.4% decrease in damage. And when it gets buffed, it's a little also, it's also decreased, but I want to see a little bit further here on Hex here. Looks like the frame time has been changed a little bit. Instead of it being half a second frame, maybe it's 0.4 second frame. Seems like they slightly tweaked the amount of frames in terms of how Hex's damage is dealt, so it shouldn't be as spammable. And then it looks like they changed Dream Eater a little bit here, about a 13% increase in damage for Dream Eater. So we'll have to see how that kind of all plays out with how Gengar functions. But its damage did get reduced, and its invulnerability frames were reduced as well. That's the important thing. Iframes, invulnerability frames, so the point at which he can't take damage. So hopefully Gengar, which is about as bulky as a wet paper bag, hopefully he's not going to be as crazy as he is, because Gengar is like legit one of the most frustrating things to come up against. Going on to Zeraora. Zeraora's Wild Charge his cooldown was decreased from 12 to 11. Very, very nice. Its damage was increased pretty significantly, about a 15% increase. It looks like it does about 25% after hitting them with Spark and Volt Switch in terms of a bonus. And Plasma Gale, its ult move, was reduced about 15-16% in terms of its damage, which I don't think was too bad at all. I think Zeraora is still very strong. Kramer Ant gets some significant decreases, 16% to its Whirlpool at level 1, and Kramer Ant is so good early game in taking control of lanes. Dive gets a 26% increase, which allows it to be a little bit more viable, as most people were running Surf on Kramer Ant, so perhaps Dive will be a little bit stronger there. And then we're looking at Machamp now. Machamp's got its Cross Chop. It gains 2 attack per stack up to 40 stacks. Damage decreased, so you're looking at about a 29% decrease in damage on Cross Chop. Close Combat has about a 7% increase, and you've also got about a 7% increase on Close Combat Plus. And if they're afflicted by an enemy status condition, then you're going to actually have 25% increase in damage there. Lucario here, he's got his Power-Up Punch. It's a bug fix, so now it'll actually... Lucario is like one of the best things at stealing objectives. It's actually bonkers. Looks like they changed a couple of things, some of the different bugs. You can see here for level 5, Bone Hit, level 15, Bone Hit, so they changed a few of those things. And then some miscellaneous things that this person tested. I think this is really good. Shell Bell has an internal cooldown of about 10 seconds. X attack boosts attack and special attack by 15% for 5 seconds. So not that much, 15% for 5 seconds. Flat defense, special defense is really bad scaling. My focus band is at max, but at 16, 14. It reduces auto attack damage by 2, and special, this is unaffected by Pokemon level. Venusaur had some really bad ratios for ability. The Solar Beam has a huge base damage. X attack increases damage by 195 with a base of 963, but Kramer Ant, for example, gained about 206. So yeah, they just changed it. Depends on some of these stats. Some of these are a little different here. But that's the detailed breakdown. I know that was a lot of numbers. That was a lot. That was a lot, but I think it's nice to actually see exactly how these different stats break down and what actually changed. I think for me, the biggest takeaways here are that, one, they're paying attention, right? They're taking the feedback that they have from the community and from the gameplay they have. They're making those adjustments. They've made a lot of changes. I think Venusaur Solar Beam could be a lot stronger, got a lot of buffs. I love the buff to its Unite move as well. Talonflame getting significant buffs, as much as a 66% increase on some of its attacks. Absol gets all these buffs right when its Hollow Air drops, which I think is hilarious. Charizard getting a lot of buffs, those cooldowns, allowing it to spam. I mean, if you figure a 1.5 second, 2 second cooldown on a move, that means you can click that move like 15, 20 more times in a match. Like, it's actually wild when you think of it that way. Wigglytuff getting just absurd stat buffs. I'm really playing Wigglytuff today, I think, because I really want to see how that's going to play out. But again, a lot of data, a lot of numbers. Hopefully this breakdown was helpful for you. I know a lot of people were looking for this information. I'll put the sources in the description below if you guys want to look at the numbers yourself and all the detail that was compiled from Cerebi.net and, of course, Phantom Baselord and everyone who's kind of putting together this data. Very, very much props to them. I've been having a blast playing Pokemon Unite. Don't be afraid to check out my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/aDrive, where I stream every single day. And that's going to be that for your detailed patch notes breakdown. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.